it's not just a matter of steps of service, of steps of engagement. It starts with what I call the internal components. Those internal components to me are things like mindset, having the right frame of mind, having the right attitude, having the right energy, positive energy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Engati CX. And today we have the pleasure of welcoming Christoff J. Weihman to our interview series. But before that, let's just begin with a quick introduction of what Engati is. Engati is the world's leading multilingual no-code chatbot platform available across 14 channels with 30,000 bots created across 186 countries in every domain and use case. Engati has also been recognized as a top platform by Inc.com, TechWorld, CIO, and many others. We run the Engati blog, the video channel, and the Engati CX podcast, of course, receiving upwards of 300,000 visitors annually. And now for our amazing guest, Christoff J. Weihman is a keynote speaker and America's favorite 5-star customer service and customer experience expert. He's the best-selling author of 2 outstanding books on 5-star customer service and hospitality, Getting to Wow and the Customer Experience. These are the 2 books. He is the founding president of the National Customer Service Association, that is the NCSA, Las Vegas chapter. His company, Aspire Enterprises, is a customer service training and consulting company that specializes in teaching, training, and empowering companies and organizations to elevate the service they deliver to their clientele. So welcome to the show, Christoff. It's such an honor to have you.
Hey, Rahul, thank you so much. This is a wonderful, amazing honor. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate that. But before we dive into and get the inside scoop from Christoff himself, here's a quick announcement to all our old viewers. You already know what it is. To the new ones, we have something special for you at the end of the interview. So stick around and watch out for that. Christoff, you ready? I'm going to shoot the first question to you.
Yes, I'm ready. Ready. Let's go.
All right. So Christoff, your book, Getting to Wow, it talks a lot about 5-star customer experience. So what would be some key points which you think can help any business create a 5-star CX experience like that?
Well, I'm very passionate about customer service, customer experience. And we live in an age where customer service training doesn't seem to be as sexy as digital marketing, as online marketing. And I see oftentimes business owners often feel like they have to choose to focus their budget on online marketing, digital media, to procure and attract more customers, or customer service training. And I think that they go hand in hand. I hear a lot of times people say marketing is the lifeblood of your business. And maybe that is true, but if marketing is the lifeblood of your business, then I would like to add that maybe customer service is the oxygen for your business. And we can't live without either one. The business is going to not survive and not going to thrive. So I really believe that it starts from the top. It starts from a leadership that cultivates and empowers and equips their team, not only with skills and techniques and knowledge, while those are important for them to be adept at their position, whatever industry they may be in. And I often use hospitality because everybody has gone to a restaurant or gone to a hotel and had a good or not good experience. So we understand that arena in terms of examples. But it's not just a matter of steps of service, of steps of engagement. It starts with what I call the internal components. Those internal components to me are things like mindset, having the right frame of mind, having the right attitude, having the right energy, positive energy, and a passion for whatever business or industry they are in. When I do training for the hospitality arena or for the bartenders union, say in Las Vegas, or any particular restaurant, I will ask people, if they have a passion for the business. And sometimes people maybe start out with passion, but then over the years, maybe they get a little bit jaded and they get a little bit tired and maybe they don't have that spark and energy. And I have been known to bluntly say, if you don't have passion for this business, then get out, because you're doing yourself a disservice and you're doing your customers a disservice. And so that's definitely the starting point, is the internal components.
That's wonderfully put, Christoph. As they say, it has to start from within, right? It has to be a passion to serve,
Right.
not like a mechanical step one,
Sure.
step two thing. And especially post the pandemic, I think the businesses have, kind of made it a mandatory thing to be very empathic towards the customers and have the customer experience. But again, not everybody is doing it passionately like they should be doing. It's step one, step two, okay, this, now that, and that kind of kills it.
I agree with you. And, we are in this time that we don't know how long this is going to be going on, this COVID situation. And again, if I look at the hospitality arena, which is one industry that has been, very, very drastically and dramatically negatively affected by it. And yes, while there are protocols that are being required for health and safety, social distancing, wearing masks, all of these different things, vigilance in terms of washing hands, things like that, I feel like oftentimes even the customer experience has even gone lower because we don't now have the engagement. I mean, a smile, you hear people talking about how a smile is contagious. We can't see a smile. And yes, you can see the person's eyes, but we don't have that same interaction. Wearing the mask, it causes many people to go inward. And so now many times, I'm not saying all, but many haven't really figured out how to overcome some of these challenges. And it has become more of a step-by-step. I take your order, I bring your order, thank you, goodbye, as opposed to real engagement between the service professional and the customer. And that's in any industry. I mean, think of all the different businesses and types of businesses around the world that have been shut down that were considered non-essential.
Right.
So think, and you brought up the point, you brought up a word that I love, and I actually have a whole chapter about it in my book, The Customer Experience. And you use the word empathetic. And I have a chapter that talks about empathy. And when we really are getting in tune with our customers and even our employees, our team members, that's another area that we should be conscientious and intentional about is empathy. And empathy is walking in another person's shoes, seeing things from their point of view. Exactly. And so this term, everybody's used this term of walking in another person's shoes. And I've added to that quote to make it my own. And that's walking in another person's shoes, even when they don't fit, because that's often the case, because we don't understand the other person's perspective. And so in this day and age, when we are in such challenging times, I think there should be empathy both on the side of the customer to the service professional and really give an appreciation. Oh, thank you so much for being open. Thank you for, your business being here so that I can come and participate and purchase your product or enjoy the experience. But then in reciprocation, the service professional should also be viewing the customer as being I'm happy not just that I have my job, but that you are coming here to patronize our company and our business.
Absolutely. It's a two-way bridge and always has been. It's amazing that you mentioned that because of the laws of interaction, it's very important for us to kind of show that side of ourselves and, make this a little bit more human. And not just consider it just for the business, but be very customer and human centric towards things that we do. That's amazing. But elaborating more on the service part of things. So, Christoph, how is service excellence crucial for great customer experience, and how can businesses achieve so?
I think it has to be intentional and really planned. Again, if we use the restaurant industry as an example, there are many people that work in a restaurant, right? There could be 20, 30, 40 servers, bartenders, hosts, etc. There has to be some harmony and continuity and consistency, not in necessarily parroting or robotically saying the same phrases, but we have to be on the same page. And when I was in the service side and not the teaching, training, speaking, author side of the business, I spent many years in many hotels and restaurants where I've worked throughout the country and even overseas.
Right.
And, we gain a server that might be a star player, an A player, has a certain following. And so everybody loves Jim. Jim's the favorite bartender. He's our great guy. And we come in to see him all the time because we know what to expect, how he's going to take care of us, how he's going to greet us. Then I come in on a day when Jim's not working, same bar, same restaurants, same recipes, same cocktails, same ambiance, same decor, same everything, except Jim's not there. It's Floyd. And Floyd has a different way. He doesn't really care that much about his customers. He's not really that in tune. He's more in the transactional way of doing things. And so even though I've gone to the same place, the experience is completely different. And so to be able to have that energy, so that's another concept or component to think about, is the energy. No, we don't want to be cookie cutter and hire the exact same demographic of all of our staff that come from the same, culinary school or anything like that. But there has to be, and this comes from the leadership, it comes from the owner, and then it is continued by the management, a certain core values that are communicated to the company, to the staff. Like here's a good challenge. Ask anybody who works for any size company. Oh, so where do you work? I work for ABC company. Great. How long you been there? I've been there this long. This is my position. What's like two of the core values of your company? Do you think they know the answer? And if they know the answer, do they know what it means? Or did they just memorize the 7 words that they were supposed to learn or that were in the handbook? Right? So having those core values and having those permeate throughout the culture of the organization, I think is crucial. And provided an environment where people do enjoy coming to work. And again, if we're talking about, maybe in a year from now when somebody watches this interview, everything will be different. But in today's climate and situation, everybody's not happy that they are going to work. Maybe they're thankful that they have a job, but they're concerned about getting sick. And so we have to be aware of what is the feeling of our team members. Are they coming in begrudgingly? Are they coming in with a half motivation or no motivation? And I would say it is a huge challenge for business leaders right now to be able to keep the spirits up of their team members, to let them know and to think positively that we're all going to get through this and that you are so valued and so appreciated and that what you do, regardless of your position, matters so much to the success of this business, this entity, and to each one of us. And sometimes as business leaders, we might forget to communicate that to our team members, but it's so vital, I think, even more so today.
Absolutely. It's wonderful you mentioned that the leaders are definitely having a tough time. I mean, you have to be more than a leader and you have to be able to think in multidimensional thought process, right? Even considering the moods that they are in, what situations the employees are. And of course, if the employees are treated well, they are really taken care of. I think the service part of things takes care of itself pretty much. That was wonderful.
Yes.
Right. So, Christoff, the customer journey, talking about that, it has many touch points also. So, in this case, how can data and analytics, help make the customer journey seamless?
That's a really good question. And it's an arena that I am not an expert in. However, I am opening myself up to learning and researching and listening to others. And I'm a little bit older. And so you may say I'm from an old school mindset. But as I've started to think about this AI, at first I was like, no, we don't want, robots and machines taking over. But, I live in Las Vegas. And so we are the entertainment capital of the world, or at least we were until things shut down. And we have the biggest, the grandest, the most bold of every kind of experience that one could imagine anywhere. And I've noticed even as recent as just maybe a year ago, some of the major hotels have been experimenting with robots, doing things that are maybe considered menial tasks. And when somebody calls down to the front desk and asks, could I please have some more towels or shampoo or something, they have robots that a person, I think a person still has to load the robot, but they go up the elevator, they go down the hallway, and they come to the door and they ring the bell and they provide that task, right?
Right.
So I do believe that there are many ways that, and you're talking about analytics, so that's not necessarily analytics, but that's just in the task orientation, right? And so I think that it's kind of maybe fun and novel until it gets to the point when everybody sees the robots everywhere. But right now, and I was in the airport in was it Japan? Japan recently, and they have security guards that are roaming the airport, making sure people are following the right path. And that's based on analytics because they are taking in data of where the people are, right?
Right.
But in other ways, data is so important, and supercomputing can do so much more than, the brightest minds that we have, right? To be able to extract so much data of, the locale of where your people are from, and, peak hours, and using it for things like staffing, predictive planning based upon the analytics, instead of over ordering product because we're just guessing. But if we take analytics and we realize that there's a concert or there's a big event that's happening this weekend, so we know there's more people in town than normal, and it's not based upon just us remembering that. So certainly there is a huge horizon where AI is going to play a great part. My hesitation or my resistance or concern would be that it should contribute to the overall customer or guest experience and not take away from it. And I think that the possibility is for companies to rely so much on AI that it replaces the human touch, the human connection. And I think the more that we are connected with technology and through technology, that people still have a desire to feel like, if a robot says to me, thank you for coming, we appreciate your business, it's not the same as a live person saying it to me.
Right.
Even if they match, they're doing things with voice modulation. And I already see online people that are, hire a voiceover artist who's actually an AI to do your narration for your video or your book or whatever. I know that they're perfecting it, but I still want to feel that it's a human involved as well, right?
That's true. That's true. And we at Engati believe that too. I mean, there's no way like an AI chatbot can actually replace human experience. I mean, that's a given. And that's why, and especially in times like these, right, where there cannot be human interaction that much. I think this is when like technology like conversational AI comes into play. But again, it is very important for the experience to be as human as possible. You can't have the robot act like a Terminator, hey, wrong request, user, you are the fool. It can't be like that. It has to be very human. So we at Engati strongly believe that. And that's a great point put there. But talking more about,
so you're not going to, I would be surprised and tickled, I guess, if at the end of this interview you reveal that you are actually not a human. Rahul.
Yep. You never know.
We've reached that level yet.
Yeah, but
you're asking all these questions, and then you say, "Aha! Guess what? We got you."
Yeah. No, but I'm pretty much human. Pinch me, I bleed. But hey, talking about more about AI and conversational AI that we were talking. How do you think, Christoff, that AI, specifically conversational AI chatbots, can improve customer engagement in the hospitality sector. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a another one that I find as a challenge. I think we're not going to prevent it from happening. And so, for example, if I go online and I hit live chat, I maybe because I'm more, I don't know, I feel like I can tell when it's a real person and when it's a chat bot that's responding to me.
Right.
And so for me, again, because I'm a little bit, I don't consider myself old, but I'm older. I'm not, Gen X or Gen Y, millennial. I'm a baby boomer. I'm on the young side of baby boomers. And usually if I'm going on and let's say I want to book a plane ticket, if I needed help and if I'm engaging in communication instead of just going on a site to click my dates and times, it means that I have questions. It means that I want to have a conversation rather than just a binary question back to me. Would you prefer this or that? Well, that wasn't one of the options that I was hoping for. And that's even phone systems for the last probably 10 years have already been using that. Press 1 for this, press 2 for this, press 3 for this. I've learned a couple tricks. If you press for the sales department, they will always have a live person because they think that they're increasing their revenue. If you're asking for customer service, you have to go through the circuit roundabout. And so most of the companies, they will respond if you say live agent. But then they will say, okay, but before I get you to the best live agent, let me ask you a couple questions. I don't want to answer those questions. That's why I'm asking for the live agent. Right. But, there are so many great minds that are developing this technology. And I know as long as they keep in mind the end result, which is the customer experience, the feeling of the customer that's going to build and grow brand loyalty, then I believe that there is great opportunity. And I don't even necessarily know what that, how that would play out. But again, I feel like I bring my expertise of the live in-person, human, personal touch points, and then you partner it with the best brilliance of AI and technology. Like I was saying earlier about digital marketing and customer service, they should go hand in hand. It shouldn't be, well, every business just needs to have digital marketing and that's going to grow and scale their business. Yes, but you're going to have a revolving door of unsatisfied customers that continue to leave because they don't feel welcome, they don't feel appreciated, they don't feel valued along the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, it definitely does. The best part about your answer was it's a combination of the human live this thing and the brightest technology out there, and that experience alone is something that will actually attract customers, and that is why so if you see, a lot of these customers are still skeptical using a conversational AI or like a technology like that. Sure. because of the nosiness of the robot, or because the robot is too robotic, right? And that's why, like we mentioned before too, the human aspect of things are very, very important. You got to do it right or it's absolutely wrong. It's like that. It's a very
correct.
Yep.
Here's a good example too. Many companies use phone tech support or customer service support outsourced, right? And so, in fact, many of them are in India, where you are, and the Philippines and other places. And I have worked in telemarketing companies and in phone rooms, and I know that there is a script, and they are encouraged and told that they must follow a script. However, there's a way to follow a script that you're still conversational with the person.
Exactly.
And so that's not even an AI. That's a live person who is being robotic, right? So again, it's really being in, and look, that's a tough job because how many people do they talk to every single day, right? Maybe hundreds. So maybe they get tired. Maybe they get bored. Maybe they're like, oh, frustrated. Like, okay, wow, another call and another call and another call.
Yeah, I think.
But they still have to action. And here's the other thing: whatever kind of position or job we are in, if you are interacting with another human, you have the potential to make a positive impact on their day. So you don't know that customer that's calling up on the phone, and I'm sorry if we're kind of going a little bit off track, but I think it ties in. If they're that customer that's calling on the phone, you think they're asking for this problem to be solved, but it's being fueled by some frustration or something that they had earlier that has nothing to do with the person on the phone. But if that person on the phone, because I have had great experiences and not great experiences, but those people that are able to say, oh, Mr. Christoff, I really would like to make sure that we get a great resolution for you today, or a great solution, or whatever. Like, they're talking to me. They're not just reading something. And even if the problem didn't get solved, I do still feel a walk away that that person cared, and they weren't just doing a job, and they knew that they were able to make a positive effect. And all of us as human beings, whatever we're doing, you in this podcast, in this interview, you are presenting opportunity. You are encouraging people about both customer service and technology. You don't know who you're going to inspire and motivate and challenge and encourage by just somebody watching a few minutes or listening to a few minutes of this podcast, and it can make a difference in their life. I mean, I'm a good example. I've only recently started thinking about the positive side of AI and not, the potential difficulties or challenges. So that's
absolutely
my little message for all our viewers and listeners.
Absolutely. And that was amazingly put too, I must say. And this is the biggest, and we cannot stress more on this, that conversational AI is not something that you can, just implement and let it go. It has to be very, very tailored to the customer it is speaking to. For example, if you come to one of these stores and it just says, welcome user 93475, it just puts you off. It has to be very, very tailored. And taking the name, for example,
I think the human aspect can be in the analysis of the data as well, and being able to see what was the end result, what was the consumer satisfaction scores of the calls, of the communications, and even doing a personal follow-up. So maybe they don't have to, there is a way to communicate with people, whether it's by email, a phone call, or whatever, text message, and say, thank you so much. We hope that we were able to help you, and can please, we appreciate you continuing to use our service, et cetera. So as long as the human aspect is not divorced completely from it, absolutely.
100% agree on that. And these are certain key, key principles that we built Engati on, that no matter what, it has to be very human. It has to be very personal. The experience has to be very personal. Otherwise, I mean, it's just another robot talking to you, and we don't want that, especially during a time like this. So anyway, this has been a great conversation.
Please wear your mask. Please wear your mask. Please wear your mask.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, the conversation has been great. So many fresh insights, and the energy you brought to the interview was amazing. I'm pretty sure it's going to be great. One last question for you, Christoff, pretty open-ended. Are there any other thoughts that you would like to share with our audience today?
Well, just recapping the things that I had mentioned. It's really about the human connection. It's about we are mind, body, and spirit. We are energetic beings. We are not yet, and we are electrical, right? But just to be able to, in whatever we're doing in business, to be able to step back and kind of step outside of ourselves and see what kind of impact am I making on the customer? What kind of impact is is this policy, protocol, et cetera, making on the customer? And to me, what I always say is the end result or the desired result is one thing and one thing only, or primarily, and that's a PF, which is a positive feeling. Do we want customers to buy more products? Sure. Do we want customers to refer more customers? Sure. But if they walk away with a positive feeling about us, our company, our service, our technology, how we serve them, then they will be your brand loyal customers. They will be your evangelists that are unpaid marketers because they feel good about what you are doing for them in serving them. So that's my message in a nutshell.
Absolutely. And that's wonderfully said too. It's very important for the PF to come in, the positive feeling to come in. And I think at the end of it all, I mean, business, you can say our numbers, our profits, but at the core of it all, at the absolute core of it all, business is at the end people. And as long as the people involved in your business are happy, you are successful, is what we believe too. And that's amazingly put by you, Christoff. So thank you so much for giving us your time. Your insights were really valuable. And I know for a fact that our audience is going to really enjoy this interview. Where can the audience find you? How to reach you? What's the socials?
I'll make it real simple. My first name is Christoff, Christoff, and then put the number 360.com. Christoff360.com. My business website, my personal website, all my social media links, everything Christoff related is there. Christoff J. Weihman, but just Christoff360.com. And you'll be able to connect with me, follow us, and engage if you so choose. And you can find out about my books there as well and other opportunities that we are doing to serve others.
Absolutely. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Christoff, for you right there. You can always check out the book, bestsellers, some amazing value out there. So go and grab that. And also, like I promised in the beginning of the interview, so if you've stuck around for this long, we're so excited to announce that our ebook, The Evolution of Customer Experience, is out and available to download absolutely for free. So check the link in the description below and you will find out more details about it. And we will be back with a new episode with a brand new expert soon. So stay tuned and we'll see you around for the next one. Really, thank you so much, Christoff. This was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.